Welcome to FREMA Audiobooks, where mindset meets action, and the path to success is built through deliberate thought, consistent habits, and strategic thinking. Today, we present Attract Opportunities, Build a Mindset that Creates Success, an audiobook designed to help you develop the mental frameworks, awareness, and proactive behaviors that draw opportunities, foster growth, and create measurable success in both personal and professional life. This audiobook is not about wishful thinking or passive hope. It is about cultivating a mindset that positions you to recognize, pursue, and create opportunities by aligning your thoughts, habits, and actions with your goals. Over the course of this audiobook, you will explore how beliefs shape outcomes, how perception influences the ability to seize possibilities, and how consistent mental and behavioral practices generate conditions that attract favorable circumstances. You will learn to cultivate awareness, strengthen focus, and implement strategies that align your mindset with opportunity creation, enabling you to act decisively, reduce hesitation, and maximize results. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the tools to develop a proactive, success-oriented mindset that naturally draws possibilities and empowers action. If this audiobook inspires you to enhance your mental approach, recognize opportunities, or strengthen your personal and professional growth, follow FREMA Audiobooks, subscribe for more actionable insights, leave a review to support our mission, and share this audiobook with anyone seeking to transform their mindset into a magnet for success. Now, prepare to explore the principles, habits, and strategies that allow you to attract opportunities, make deliberate choices, and create a life aligned with your ambitions. This audiobook is divided into 8 chapters, each designed to guide you from understanding how mindset shapes opportunity to practical methods for creating conditions that foster success, enhance awareness, and strengthen mental and behavioral patterns that produce results. As we begin with the first chapter, remember that creating opportunities starts internally. By shaping beliefs, cultivating focus, and aligning actions with your objectives, you set the stage for external circumstances to reflect your intentional mindset. Chapter 1. The Foundation of an Opportunity Mindset, Shaping Thoughts for Success. In this chapter, titled The Foundation of an Opportunity Mindset, Shaping Thoughts for Success, we explore how the beliefs, perceptions, and mental frameworks you cultivate determine your ability to recognize, create, and attract opportunities. While emphasizing why mindset is the foundation for both personal growth and professional achievement, developing an opportunity-oriented mindset begins with awareness of the mental patterns that influence thought and behavior, because individuals often unconsciously limit themselves through beliefs about what is possible, fear of failure, or self-imposed constraints. By identifying these limiting beliefs, listeners can begin to reframe thinking, expand perspectives, and consciously adopt attitudes that promote growth, curiosity, and receptivity to new possibilities. Understanding that your internal narrative influences external outcomes is critical, because the way you perceive yourself, others, and situations directly shapes your actions, your decisions, and ultimately, the opportunities that become available. The narrator emphasizes that mindset is not merely abstract. It manifests in daily habits, decisions, and interactions, because thoughts drive behavior, and consistent patterns of action reinforce either limitation or expansion. Those who maintain a fixed, risk-averse perspective often overlook possibilities, hesitate to act, or dismiss favorable conditions, whereas individuals with a growth-oriented mindset actively seek learning, embrace challenges, and position themselves to capitalize on emergent opportunities. By cultivating awareness of thoughts, assessing habitual reactions, and intentionally guiding mental focus, listeners can develop the clarity, confidence, and intentionality necessary to respond to opportunities proactively rather than reactively. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that your beliefs about success and abundance influence how you interact with the world, because perceiving challenges as obstacles reduces initiative, whereas perceiving them as opportunities encourages creative solutions, resourcefulness, and resilience. This perspective shift requires deliberate practice, reflection, and consistent reinforcement, because the mind naturally defaults to familiar thought patterns, and expanding these patterns increases awareness of possibilities, enhances problem-solving, and strengthens the ability to act decisively in uncertain circumstances. Another key insight lies in the interplay between self-perception and external influence, because confidence, clarity, and a sense of competence directly affect how others respond to you, the networks you form, and the opportunities you are presented with. A mindset aligned with growth and action communicates readiness, capability, and openness, attracting collaborations, mentorships, and partnerships that may not arise without intentional cultivation of internal states. By shaping self-perception and projecting constructive confidence, listeners increase the likelihood of attracting opportunities organically, rather than relying solely on chance or external validation. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that mindset is both a filter and a magnet. It filters how you perceive situations, distinguishing between threats and possibilities, and it magnetizes circumstances, relationships, and experiences that align with your beliefs and attitudes. By actively cultivating optimism, curiosity, and proactivity, listeners create conditions in which opportunities become visible, accessible, and actionable, and where hesitation, fear, or limiting assumptions no longer dominate decision-making. Mindset, therefore, is not passive. It is an active, dynamic tool that shapes reality by influencing how you see, interpret, and act in the world. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the capacity to recognize opportunity signals that might otherwise be overlooked, approach challenges with creative problem-solving, and respond in ways that reinforce growth rather than restriction. Awareness of thought patterns, combined with deliberate reframing of beliefs, creates a foundation for consistent action aligned with goals and values, ensuring that opportunities are not only seen but seized. This alignment fosters clarity, focus, and confidence, which in turn attract further possibilities, reinforcing a self-sustaining cycle of growth and success. This chapter also highlights the role of resilience in cultivating an opportunity mindset, because setbacks, rejection, or failure are inevitable components of pursuing meaningful objectives. Viewing these experiences as feedback rather than permanent obstacles reinforces a proactive orientation, strengthens emotional stability, and develops the mental fortitude necessary to navigate uncertainty while maintaining focus on long-term goals. By integrating resilience into mindset development, listeners enhance both adaptability and perseverance, essential traits for consistently attracting and acting upon opportunities. Finally, mastering the foundation of an opportunity mindset equips listeners with a mental framework to approach life with curiosity, intentionality, and proactive engagement, ensuring that both thought and action are aligned with success. By shaping beliefs, cultivating awareness, and fostering growth-oriented thinking, individuals create conditions in which opportunities naturally arise, are recognized, and are effectively pursued, laying the groundwork for the strategies and techniques explored in the chapters that follow. Chapter 2. Awareness and Focus, Seeing Opportunities Where Others Miss Them. In this chapter, titled Awareness and Focus, Seeing Opportunities Where Others Miss Them, we explore how cultivating sharp observation, heightened situational awareness, and sustained mental focus allows individuals to recognize and act on opportunities that may go unnoticed by those with a passive or distracted mindset. Awareness begins with conscious attention, because the world presents countless possibilities daily, but only those who are fully present, observant, and receptive can identify actionable opportunities that align with their goals, strengths, and values. By training the mind to notice patterns, trends, and subtle signals in both personal and professional contexts, listeners increase their ability to respond proactively rather than reacting to circumstances after they have already passed, effectively positioning themselves ahead of the curve. The narrator emphasizes that focus is the complement to awareness, because opportunities alone are insufficient if the mind is scattered, distracted, or overwhelmed by competing priorities. Developing sustained attention allows individuals to process information deeply, analyze potential outcomes, and evaluate the value and alignment of opportunities before committing resources or energy. Techniques such as deliberate journaling, daily reflection, goal visualization, and mindfulness exercises sharpen focus, train the brain to filter noise, and enhance the capacity to detect meaningful possibilities in the midst of complexity. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that opportunities are rarely obvious. They often require interpretation, patience, and discernment. By cultivating mental clarity and attentional control, listeners learn to distinguish between fleeting distractions, superficial options, and high-value possibilities, ensuring that effort is invested where it can generate the greatest impact. This skill also strengthens decision-making, reduces wasted time and energy, and enhances confidence in pursuing paths that are strategically aligned with personal and professional objectives. Another key insight lies in combining awareness with curiosity, because those who actively question, explore, and seek understanding are more likely to uncover hidden or unconventional opportunities. Curiosity drives investigation, encourages learning, and fosters creative thinking, all of which reveal possibilities that passive observation or rote routines might overlook. Listeners are encouraged to ask probing questions, seek alternative perspectives, and explore gaps in knowledge or service as avenues for opportunity creation, allowing proactive engagement with the world rather than passive waiting. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that perception is not merely passive reception. It is an active, deliberate skill that can be honed through practice, intention, and reflection. By consciously training the mind to notice, evaluate, and prioritize, individuals expand their ability to act decisively and seize favorable circumstances as they arise. Awareness and focus thus function as both radar and compass. They detect potential opportunities and guide action toward outcomes that align with long-term goals and strategic objectives. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the ability to recognize high-potential opportunities that others may overlook, assess their feasibility, and execute with precision and confidence. The combination of heightened awareness, attentional discipline, and strategic evaluation ensures that decisions are grounded in insight rather than impulsive reaction or assumption, allowing opportunities to translate into tangible outcomes. This chapter also highlights the role of consistency, because sharpening awareness and maintaining focus is not a one-time effort, but a daily practice that compounds over time. Each moment of deliberate observation, reflection, and attentive engagement strengthens the brain's capacity to recognize patterns, detect signals, and act strategically, reinforcing the opportunity mindset and enabling proactive decision-making even in complex or rapidly changing environments. Finally, mastering awareness and focus equips listeners with the mental acuity to see possibilities where others do not, prioritize high-value opportunities, and align thought and action in a deliberate manner that fosters measurable progress and sustained success. By cultivating attentiveness, mental clarity, and evaluative precision, individuals lay the foundation for turning potential opportunities into meaningful achievements, setting the stage for the strategies explored in subsequent chapters. Chapter 3. Strategic Action, Creating Opportunities Through Initiative. In this chapter, titled Strategic Action, Creating Opportunities Through Initiative, we explore how individuals move from passive awareness to proactive engagement, transforming potential possibilities into tangible outcomes by taking deliberate, focused, and strategic actions that generate opportunities rather than waiting for them to appear. The core principle of this, the narrator emphasizes that initiative is not impulsivity, because strategic action requires both analysis and timing. Acting without preparation can squander resources, create unnecessary risk, or produce suboptimal outcomes, whereas thoughtful, deliberate engagement ensures that each move aligns with broader objectives and maximizes potential benefits. Listeners are encouraged to plan actions in a structured manner, breaking complex goals into manageable steps, setting priorities, and establishing metrics for success, so that initiative becomes both disciplined and effective, reinforcing the mindset that generates opportunities consistently. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that creating opportunities often involves calculated risk, because the process of acting on potential openings inherently exposes individuals to uncertainty, resistance, and the possibility of failure. However, when risks are assessed, mitigated, and aligned with long-term objectives, they become catalysts for growth rather than threats, allowing listeners to expand influence, skills, and reach beyond the confines of passive expectation. By embracing this principle, individuals cultivate confidence, resilience, and the ability to act decisively in situations that others might shy away from. Another key insight lies in the importance of persistence and follow-through, because opportunities frequently require multiple attempts, sustained effort, and repeated engagement before yielding results. Initial efforts may encounter obstacles, rejection, or unforeseen challenges, but consistent and adaptive action demonstrates commitment, builds credibility, and positions individuals to capitalize on emerging circumstances. Listeners are encouraged to develop habits of disciplined follow-through, continuous refinement of approach, and learning from feedback, ensuring that each effort compounds toward long-term success rather than dissipating in isolation. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that creating opportunities is an active process that integrates awareness, focus, initiative, and persistence. By consistently taking strategic action, individuals not only increase the likelihood of tangible outcomes but also reinforce mental patterns associated with growth, proactivity, and adaptability, creating a self-reinforcing cycle in which action generates further opportunities and expands potential for success. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the ability to act decisively on insights, convert intentions into results, and systematically create openings that align with both immediate objectives and long-term ambitions. Strategic action transforms potential into reality, ensuring that awareness and focus are coupled with meaningful, measurable engagement rather than remaining dormant or theoretical. This chapter also highlights the role of networking, collaboration, and relationship building as part of creating opportunities, because strategic action is often amplified when others contribute knowledge, resources, or connections. Engaging with like-minded individuals, sharing ideas, and participating in mutually beneficial projects expands reach, enhances visibility, and multiplies the potential for discovery, reinforcing the principle that opportunities are often co-created through intentional, relational engagement. Finally, mastering strategic action equips listeners with the framework to consistently convert awareness and insights into practical, high-impact results. By combining deliberate planning, disciplined initiative, and adaptive persistence, individuals are able to generate, recognize, and act upon opportunities that others may overlook, creating a continuous flow of potential that supports personal and professional success. Chapter 4. Adaptability and Learning, seizing opportunities in dynamic environments. In this chapter, titled Adaptability and Learning, Seizing Opportunities in Dynamic Environments, we explore how the ability to adjust, learn continuously, and remain flexible in the face of change allows individuals to capture opportunities that others miss, while emphasizing why adaptability is a cornerstone of sustained success in unpredictable or rapidly evolving situations. The modern world is characterized by constant shifts, unexpected challenges, and emerging trends, and those who cling rigidly to preconceived plans or habits often find themselves unprepared to act effectively when circumstances change. Developing adaptability involves cultivating a mindset that embraces change, views challenges as learning experiences, and remains open to new perspectives and methods, enabling listeners to respond strategically and opportunistically rather than being constrained by rigidity. The narrator emphasizes that continuous learning is essential for adaptability because the more knowledge, skills, and experiences an individual acquires, the greater their ability to recognize patterns, anticipate changes, and identify opportunities in unfamiliar situations. By actively seeking new insights, experimenting with different approaches, and reflecting on successes and failures, listeners expand their toolkit for navigating complexity and increase their capacity to act decisively when circumstances shift. Learning also reinforces confidence, as individuals gain evidence of their ability to adapt, overcome obstacles, and leverage change into growth rather than allowing it to cause stagnation or fear. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that flexibility in thinking and behavior allows individuals to pivot when necessary, optimizing outcomes without abandoning core goals or values. Adaptability does not imply inconsistency. It means being responsive, strategic, and creative in the face of evolving conditions, ensuring that opportunities are pursued intelligently even when original assumptions are challenged. By integrating flexibility into decision-making, listeners can maintain momentum, minimize losses from unforeseen disruptions, and capitalize on emerging trends that less adaptable individuals overlook. Another key insight lies in embracing experimentation and calculated risk-taking because opportunities often exist at the intersection of uncertainty and action. Trying new approaches, exploring unconventional paths, and stepping beyond comfort zones generates insights and reveals possibilities that static or overly cautious strategies might never encounter. Listeners are encouraged to adopt a mindset of curiosity and learning from iteration, understanding that temporary setbacks are valuable data points that inform future action and strengthen the ability to respond creatively to change. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that adaptability is both a mindset and a skill, because the ability to adjust strategy, behavior, and perspective under shifting circumstances is crucial for converting potential into realized opportunity. By cultivating responsiveness, reflective practice, and openness to new ideas, listeners position themselves to act swiftly and intelligently, ensuring that the changing environment amplifies rather than diminishes their potential for success. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the capacity to navigate uncertainty with confidence, identifying openings and solutions where others may see only obstacles. Adaptable individuals can recalibrate plans, modify approaches, and pivot toward emerging opportunities without losing focus on overarching goals, making their pursuit of success both resilient and strategic. This skill reduces the risk of stagnation, enhances problem solving, and ensures that momentum is maintained even in volatile or unpredictable conditions. This chapter also highlights the role of feedback and reflection in adaptability, because observing outcomes, assessing actions, and integrating lessons strengthens the ability to adjust intelligently over time. By combining reflection with experimentation, listeners can fine-tune strategies, refine decision-making, and anticipate shifts in circumstances, creating a proactive approach to opportunity capture rather than a reactive or passive one. This feedback loop reinforces both confidence and competence, ensuring that each new challenge contributes to growth and skill enhancement. Finally, mastering adaptability and learning equips listeners with the tools to thrive in dynamic environments, respond effectively to unforeseen circumstances, and convert challenges into opportunities for advancement. By embracing change, continuously learning, and remaining flexible in thought and action. Chapter 5. Networking and Relationships, Amplifying Opportunities Through Connections. In this chapter, titled Networking and Relationships, Amplifying Opportunities Through Connections, we explore how building meaningful, authentic relationships expands access to opportunities, enhances influence, and accelerates success, while emphasizing that the ability to connect strategically with others is as critical as individual skill, knowledge, and initiative in creating and seizing possibilities. Networking is not merely collecting contacts. It is cultivating mutually beneficial relationships rooted in trust, value creation, and shared vision. By investing time and effort into developing genuine connections, listeners learn to access insights, collaborations, and opportunities that are often invisible to those who operate in isolation. thereby amplifying both reach and impact. The narrator emphasizes that effective networking requires intentionality, because opportunities are rarely presented to those who are passive or disengaged. By attending events, participating in communities, and seeking mentorship, listeners can position themselves where opportunities naturally arise while simultaneously demonstrating competence, reliability, and willingness to contribute. The key principle is reciprocity. Meaningful relationships thrive when both parties provide value, support each other's goals, and foster trust, creating an ecosystem where opportunities flow organically and collaboratively. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that relationships often function as multipliers for effort, because connections can introduce ideas, resources, and partnerships that accelerate progress beyond what individual action alone could achieve. By leveraging networks strategically, listeners can access new markets, receive guidance from experienced individuals, and identify opportunities earlier, giving them a competitive advantage in both professional and personal endeavors. Cultivating a network with diverse perspectives, experiences, and expertise enhances the ability to recognize patterns, anticipate trends, and act decisively in the face of emerging opportunities. Another key insight lies in the importance of reputation, because how you are perceived within your network significantly influences the opportunities you are offered. Demonstrating reliability, integrity, competence, and a collaborative mindset attracts others to engage with you, creating pathways for mentorship, partnerships, and referrals that may not arise solely through individual effort. Listeners are encouraged to consistently communicate value, follow through on commitments, and contribute meaningfully, reinforcing both credibility and trustworthiness within their networks. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that relationships are catalysts for opportunity creation, providing access, insight, and resources that complement personal initiative and skill. By fostering strong networks, listeners expand their sphere of influence, enhance visibility, and create conditions in which opportunities are more likely to appear, be recognized, and be leveraged effectively. Networking thus functions not as a passive strategy, but as an active, deliberate process of cultivating connections that align with personal and professional goals. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the ability to approach interactions strategically, identify individuals who can support or accelerate growth, and nurture relationships that yield both immediate and long-term benefits. Building a network rooted in trust and value amplifies potential for opportunity, while also providing a support system that reinforces resilience, learning, and adaptability. Relationships become conduits through which ideas, collaborations, and possibilities flow, reinforcing the cycle of success created by mindset, focus, and initiative. This chapter also highlights the role of active engagement and continuous contribution, because relationships must be maintained through consistent interaction, shared insight, and reciprocal support. Listeners are encouraged to create structured routines for outreach, mentorship, collaboration, and feedback, ensuring that connections remain dynamic, mutually beneficial, and aligned with evolving goals. This proactive approach transforms networking from a sporadic task into a habit that continuously generates opportunity and reinforces strategic alignment. Finally, mastering networking and relationships equips listeners with the skills, awareness, and strategies to amplify opportunity generation, foster collaboration, and create a self-sustaining ecosystem of growth. By combining connection, value creation, and intentional engagement, individuals position themselves to attract opportunities, access resources, and build partnerships that multiply the impact of their efforts and accelerate both personal and professional success. Chapter 6. Strategic Positioning, Presenting Yourself as a Magnet for Opportunities. In this chapter, titled Strategic Positioning, Presenting Yourself as a Magnet for Opportunities, we explore how personal branding, credibility, and strategic visibility amplify your ability to attract opportunities, while emphasizing that how others perceive you directly impacts the range and quality of possibilities that come your way. Strategic positioning begins with self-awareness because understanding your strengths, expertise, values, and unique contributions enables you to communicate your value clearly and consistently to the right audience. By defining what you stand for and aligning your actions, communications, and presence with that identity, listeners learn to become recognizable and trustworthy to others, creating a magnetic pull for opportunities that align with their objectives. The narrator emphasizes that credibility and expertise are essential components of strategic positioning because opportunities tend to gravitate toward individuals who are perceived as capable, reliable, and knowledgeable. Building credibility involves consistently demonstrating competence, delivering results, sharing insights, and contributing meaningfully in areas of expertise. When others see tangible evidence of skill and reliability, they are more likely to present opportunities, recommend collaborations, or seek partnership, reinforcing the cycle in which your strategic presence attracts high-quality possibilities. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that visibility is not about self-promotion for its own sake. but about intentional exposure in contexts where your strengths, skills, and value can be recognized by relevant stakeholders. Engaging in communities, presenting ideas publicly, participating in professional networks, or sharing knowledge online positions listeners as active contributors, not passive observers, enhancing awareness of potential opportunities. By controlling how and where they are seen, individuals maximize the likelihood that their unique skills and potential will be matched with appropriate opportunities. Another key insight lies in the importance of consistency and authenticity, because opportunities are attracted not by transient appearances but by a coherent, reliable, and genuine presence. Presenting oneself authentically, following through on commitments, and aligning words with actions cultivates trust, reinforces reputation, and strengthens relationships, making it easier for others to recommend, endorse, or involve you in ventures and projects. Authentic strategic positioning ensures that the opportunities you attract are not only abundant but aligned with your goals and values, rather than superficial or misaligned. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that personal branding, credibility, and visibility are tools to shape perception, guide engagement, and amplify opportunity generation. Listeners who intentionally manage these elements gain leverage, as their reputation and presence naturally signal readiness, competence, and alignment, attracting individuals and circumstances that accelerate personal and professional growth. Strategic positioning ensures that opportunity does not rely on chance but is consistently influenced by deliberate thought, action, and representation. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the ability to present themselves in ways that maximize perceived value, reinforce credibility, and position them as desirable collaborators, leaders, or contributors within their networks. Strategic visibility enables the proactive alignment of external perceptions with internal capability, creating a feedback loop in which opportunities continue to emerge as a function of reputation, demonstrated skill, and consistent engagement. This chapter also highlights the psychological aspect of strategic positioning, because confidence, clarity, and a sense of purpose influence not only how others perceive you but also how you approach potential opportunities. By cultivating self-assurance, communicating effectively, and acting decisively, listeners reinforce both internal mindset and external perception, creating conditions in which opportunities are more readily identified and pursued. The combination of self-awareness, authenticity, and purposeful presence enhances both personal influence and the capacity to attract favorable circumstances. Finally, mastering strategic positioning equips listeners with the tools to create an environment where opportunities naturally flow toward them, enhancing visibility, credibility, and influence. By consistently presenting skills, values, and strengths in alignment with goals, individuals strengthen their ability to attract collaborations, ventures, mentorship, and other pathways to success, reinforcing a mindset and lifestyle in which opportunities are not only seen but actively drawn to them. Chapter 7. Mindset Maintenance, Habits to Stay Ready for Opportunities. In this chapter, titled Mindset Maintenance, Habits to Stay Ready for Opportunities, we explore how cultivating daily practices, continuous learning, and disciplined habits ensures that your mind remains alert, adaptable, and receptive to opportunities, while emphasizing that consistent preparation and mental resilience are critical for sustained success. Developing this habit of readiness begins with reflection, because reviewing daily experiences, successes, and challenges enhances awareness of patterns, uncovers potential gaps in judgment, and strengthens the capacity to recognize opportunities in the future. By integrating structured reflection, journaling, and evaluation into daily routines, listeners maintain a mindset attuned to growth, possibility, and proactive engagement. The narrator emphasizes that continuous learning is essential for maintaining an opportunity-oriented mindset, because the world evolves constantly, and skills, knowledge, and strategies that were effective yesterday may require refinement tomorrow. By committing to ongoing education through reading, mentorship, training, or experiential learning, listeners sharpen their judgment, expand their perspectives, and increase the likelihood of identifying and acting on emerging opportunities. Learning also fosters adaptability, resilience, and confidence, ensuring that change is viewed as a catalyst for action rather than a threat to stability or success. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that consistency in habit formation reinforces mental clarity and readiness, because daily repetition strengthens neural pathways associated with focus, and strategic thinking. Practices such as goal setting, prioritization, and mindfulness allow individuals to maintain cognitive alignment, manage distractions, and preserve the ability to act decisively when opportunities arise. By creating daily structures that reinforce awareness, learning, and intentional action, listeners ensure that opportunity seeking becomes habitual rather than sporadic. Another key insight lies in resilience and emotional regulation, because maintaining a mindset that attracts opportunities requires the ability to navigate setbacks, rejection, and uncertainty without losing focus or motivation. Techniques such as cognitive reframing, Controlled reflection and adaptive thinking allow listeners to recover quickly from challenges, interpret feedback constructively, and remain open to new possibilities. Emotional resilience ensures that mental energy is directed toward growth and proactive engagement rather than being depleted by fear, frustration, or hesitation. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that mindset is not static, and that sustaining an opportunity-oriented perspective requires deliberate effort, structured habits, and ongoing reinforcement. Listeners who neglect maintenance risk lapsing into complacency, limiting beliefs, or distraction, which diminishes their ability to identify and act on high-value opportunities. Conversely, a maintained mindset enables consistent recognition of possibilities, informed decision-making, and alignment between thought, action, and environment. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the capacity to stay alert to emerging trends, maintain clarity under pressure, and respond decisively to opportunities as they present themselves. Habitual reflection, continuous learning, and mental alignment ensure that opportunities are not overlooked, while preparedness allows for rapid and effective action, creating a cycle of consistent growth and achievement. This chapter also highlights the synergy between personal discipline and external engagement, because consistent habits reinforce credibility, reliability, and visibility, which in turn attracts collaborative opportunities, mentorship, and partnerships. Maintaining an opportunity-oriented mindset strengthens not only internal capacity but also external perception, creating conditions in which both insight and recognition combine to generate tangible possibilities for success. Finally, mastering mindset maintenance equips listeners with the strategies, habits, and resilience needed to consistently recognize, evaluate, and seize opportunities. By committing to daily practices that enhance awareness, focus, and learning, individuals reinforce their mental preparedness, ensuring that opportunities are recognized early, acted upon decisively, and integrated into long-term personal and professional success. Chapter 8. Integration and Lifestyle, Attracting Opportunities Consistently. In this chapter, titled Integration and Lifestyle Attracting Opportunities Consistently, we explore how to combine mindset, awareness, focus, strategic action, adaptability, relationships, positioning, and habit maintenance into a cohesive lifestyle that naturally draws opportunities, while emphasizing that creating a life where possibilities are consistently recognized and leveraged requires intentional integration of all previous principles. The foundation of this chapter is understanding that success is cumulative, and that each element of mindset, strategy, and behavior reinforces the others to produce a self-sustaining system in which opportunities flow predictably. By aligning thought, action, and environment, listeners can cultivate a lifestyle that maximizes exposure to favorable circumstances and ensures readiness to act decisively when possibilities arise. The narrator emphasizes that integration requires deliberate reflection and planning, because the mind, habits, and relationships must operate in harmony to generate consistent results. By designing routines that incorporate daily learning, focused practice, strategic outreach, and self-evaluation, listeners reinforce mental patterns, maintain clarity, and ensure that their actions consistently attract opportunities aligned with long-term goals. Integration is not passive. It requires conscious management of energy, priorities, and behaviors to create the conditions in which opportunities are both visible and actionable. One of the most significant lessons from this chapter is that lifestyle alignment transforms potential into reality, because maintaining awareness, initiative, and strategic positioning ensures that opportunity is consistently recognized and leveraged rather than overlooked or ignored. By embedding these principles into daily practice through intentional networking, focused reflection, adaptive thinking, and proactive engagement, listeners build momentum that compounds over time, creating a reinforcing loop in which mindset, behavior, and environment collectively attract success. Another key insight lies in balancing ambition with consistency, because while seeking opportunities requires proactive effort, it is the cumulative effect of small, repeated actions over time that produces sustainable outcomes. Daily routines, habit reinforcement, and incremental learning build the capacity to act decisively, maintain resilience, and capitalize on possibilities that may initially seem minor but can expand into significant achievements when integrated strategically. Consistency ensures that opportunity generation is not dependent on chance or episodic effort but is embedded in a reliable, repeatable system. The importance of this chapter lies in demonstrating that living a life designed to attract opportunities is not about chasing every possibility, but about aligning mindset, behaviors, and actions with purpose and strategic intent. By integrating all elements of awareness, focus, initiative, adaptability, networking, and positioning, listeners cultivate an environment both internal and external that naturally produces opportunities suited to their strengths, goals, and vision. This holistic approach ensures that potential is consistently transformed into tangible results rather than remaining theoretical. By internalizing these principles, listeners gain the ability to maintain a high level of situational awareness, act strategically on insights, and leverage relationships and positioning to create compounding advantages over time. This integration transforms opportunity creation into a lifestyle rather than a task, enabling sustained growth, continuous learning, and proactive engagement with circumstances, people, and resources that contribute to long-term success. This chapter also highlights the reinforcing effect of reflection and adaptation. Because evaluating outcomes, adjusting strategies, and integrating lessons from experience ensures that the system remains dynamic, responsive, and resilient to changing circumstances. By maintaining a feedback loop of assessment, adjustment, and action, listeners cultivate a mindset and lifestyle that continuously attract and amplify opportunities, strengthening both skill and confidence. Finally, mastering integration and lifestyle equips listeners with the tools, habits, and strategic awareness to consistently attract, recognize, and leverage opportunities in every aspect of life. By aligning mindset, focus, action, relationships, and positioning into a coherent, intentional system, individuals create a self-reinforcing environment in which success is not left to chance but emerges predictably as a result of deliberate thought, disciplined habits, and proactive engagement, ensuring that opportunities become a natural and continuous part of life. Conclusion: cultivating a mindset that creates success. As we conclude, attract opportunities, build a mindset that creates success. It becomes clear that creating opportunities is not a matter of luck, timing, or passive waiting, but the result of deliberate mindset cultivation, consistent habits, and proactive engagement with the world. Over the course of these 8 chapters, you have explored the foundation of an opportunity-oriented mindset, sharpened awareness and focus, learned the importance of strategic action, embraced adaptability and continuous learning, cultivated relationships and networks, refined personal positioning and branding, maintained mental readiness, and integrated all principles into a cohesive lifestyle designed to attract success. You have seen that success is a function of alignment between thought, behavior, environment, and relationships, and that those who consistently apply these principles naturally recognize, pursue, and create opportunities that propel them forward. By internalizing these lessons, listeners gain the tools to approach life with intentionality, resilience, and clarity, ensuring that opportunities are not only visible but also actionable, and that each decision reinforces long-term growth and achievement. The benefits of this approach are profound: heightened confidence, improved decision-making, proactive engagement, and a self-reinforcing cycle in which mindset and action continuously generate results aligned with personal and professional goals. If this audiobook has inspired you to shift your mindset, sharpen your awareness, and adopt habits that consistently attract success, start today by identifying one small action that aligns your thoughts and behaviors with your goals, whether it's expanding your network, practicing focused reflection, or taking deliberate steps toward a new opportunity. Follow FREMA Audiobooks for more guidance on mindset development, personal growth, and actionable strategies that turn knowledge into tangible results. Subscribe to access insights that help you strengthen mental clarity, act decisively, and create conditions where opportunities naturally emerge. Leave a review to support the mission of helping listeners transform mindset into action. And share this audiobook with someone who wants to build a lifestyle that consistently attracts possibilities and accelerates success. Remember, creating opportunities is a process of alignment, intent, and disciplined engagement, and by applying the principles outlined here, you can position yourself to recognize, pursue, and seize success in every area of life.